Hey traders, I want to give you a update on my thesis on CYBCF. They released some PR on Friday, which I thought was extremely interesting, and I want to go over that with you. But let's talk about this entire investment thesis, why I like the name, and kind of go through all of my key points I think you guys should take away, and then we'll go through that PR at the end of this. So this name, and what I've been doing as of late is looking for undervalued Canadian companies that have been absolutely destroyed in the last 2 years from a market cap standpoint, but are still operating and holding their own in their industry. Now, Cybeats, this is a great company in the cybersecurity space, and I thought it was extremely interesting space because of the amount of acquisitions that are occurring. Now, these guys, their stock structure is fantastic, which makes it, to me, an opportunity that is very attractive. The space is growing, a lot of acquisitions within these small names getting taken out. And this company, Cybeats Technology, works with a lot of Fortune 500s. They work with the US government. They have a very reputable management team, and they actually have, real contracts. It's a real business. So let's kind of dive in and take a look at that. Now, this company right now is dealing with, like I said, a whole bunch of different Fortune 500s. They're dealing with Schneider Electric. They're dealing with the U.S. government. They actually just signed a contract with the U.S. power grid, one of the U.S. power grid providers, to ensure that they're protected in that regard. The amount of cybersecurity threats has gone up, or is going up 742% a year. Now, there's going to be more and more demand for these guys as time persists. This is a industry that is growing rapidly, and the fact that these guys already have been dealing with these large Fortune 500 companies, these large institutions, etc., is just a testament to how many more contracts they can get. And I think it makes them extremely attractive for these larger companies like CrowdStrike or Palo Alto to come in and buy. And we're going to go over some of the recent acquisitions that's happened as well. So my idea on CYBCF, on the stock, 12 to 20 cent starter position on the US side. First target 39 to 51 cents. Second target 60 to 78 cents. I do think this is a buyout name. I think it is going to get bought out, and we'll talk about that PR that I saw on Friday, which I think there's something in there that kind of alludes to that, but we'll talk about that just lately. So the float, 41 million shares, 56.58% is insider owned, and they're locked up. So the float that's free trading is around like 20 million. Shares outstanding 117.5. 22.4 million, free trading right there, as we can see. And the market cap's tiny. So this is something that I think any sort of larger institution or company would want to come in and take these guys out, because you're getting the company pennies on the dollar. They have all these large contracts. This is a company that's scaling very quickly. And like I said, it's a real company producing real revenues. Their revenues right now are up 237% MRR, so recurring revenue each month, which obviously is extremely impressive. They have over 100 years combined cybersecurity experience within the company, just within the management. 3 members of the U.S. government framing group that created SBOM standards. So these SBOMs, guys, are what the U.S. government and what governments across the entire planet are making companies basically disclose. So SBOMs are something that everyone's going to have to do, and these guys are tackling that SBOM market. So essentially, the way that you buy a technology, or you buy a piece of tech, you have to disclose every piece that's in that tech, all the software, etc. That's what an SBOM is, and Cybeats has created an SBOM management system, which all these larger companies are using right now. So as time goes on, that's just going to become a massive database for these guys, and as more and more governments start to force companies to report SBOMs, you should see an uptake within that system that they have available for everybody. The one thing the government's doing as well is they're starting to fine companies large sums for not reporting SBOM. So when you start to see that mandated and become very strict, I think that should very well snowball the company. So there's a lot of things going on that are big positives for Cybeats. Now, some of the comparables, guys, let's talk about some of the companies that have been acquired. And it's a good idea to go through this thesis too. I did a lot of work on it. But if we go through and we look at the competitive landscape, we can see it's ripe for acquisition. So the tech giants, they're on a buying spree. Here are 7 of the transactions that I've seen in the last few months. So we have CrowdStrike acquiring Bionic for $350 million USD. LG acquires SBOM for $240 million USD, direct competitor. Palo Alto acquires Talon Ventures for $625 million USD. SAP acquires application security company Lennox IX for $1 billion. Cisco acquires Splunk Security for $28 billion. CrowdStrike buys Flow Security for $200 million. So they're buying all these smaller ones up. Of course, there's large acquisitions too. But this company has a market cap of, let's just check it right now. Market cap of 20 million US on the US ticker side. So I mean, I think there's probably, any of these companies could come in and buy it for pennies on the dollar, even if they're paying double or triple the price, in my opinion. Which I think it's definitely worth the shot. Being that the company absolutely got destroyed within the Canadian markets, but their company or their business side has actually been growing. So the price action we've seen on the chart doesn't actually reflect what's going on the business side of things. So I think there's a big disconnect there. And I think from a valuation standpoint, it's just ripe. It makes a lot of sense. Now, this leads me to that PR. Again, this is my opinion, guys, but I try to look for these opportunities, right? So they released this PR on Friday, I believe. Yeah, it was Friday. Read really nice, actually. So if you take a look here, Cybeats has delivered on its most important mission, customer satisfaction, as evident by 100% client retention rate, which is super rare. That's amazing. And 144% net revenue retention, 322% revenue growth to 2.1 million annual recurring ARR. Zero client churn. Revenues are increasing, and that's a massive increase too. And I think that's just going to continue to snowball. Again, I think this is a very scalable company. But I saw at the end here, guys, which I thought was extremely interesting, was this. The relevance of SBOM and further highlighted by its inclusion of national cybersecurity strategy implementation plan of the White House and U.S. Food and blah, 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 blah. But as a result, Cybeats has engaged a strategic advisor to explore corporate opportunities, including potential sector consolidation. Sounds to me like that's strategic alternatives, my friends. So I think they have obviously hired a strategic advisor to explore that. It's plain as day, in my opinion. I mean, you can interpret it any way you want, but that's what I think's going on here. So it's worth, checking out this name. And if that's the case, guys, and it catches on, I think a lot of people miss that in the PR. My guess is you're going to see a pretty decent price movement in the next couple of days, and it should bring in a lot of spec money as well. I mean, it's had a decent move so far. You're flag breaking on the daily. You got this nice, speculation of a buyout. You have them hiring a strategic advisor now, which I think now is holding some weight to my thesis. So I think I'm going to be correct on that. But it's not going to take much for this thing to get above the 30 cents, then into the 40, 50 cent range, in my opinion. You have basically clear skies once you break that 30 cent range on the US side to 51 cents. So take a look at it, guys. I have that thesis posted on SpartanTrading.com. We'll link it in the YouTube video below. Thanks for watching, guys. Any questions, feel free to reach out. And yeah, come join us in the room. SpartanTrading.com. Have a good one, my friends. See ya.